All right, you guys are watching Network 126 live, August 15th, 2018. Let's see who's out there today. Just trying to get an earlier start on a day today, and I'm probably not going to take this until 5 because like I said, I'm trying to get an earlier start, so I'm going to be going out. Of course, I'm going to be explaining this again to a live audience who's not there yet. Just trying to fill in the time here. But oh, we got one viewer. Who's out there? Say something. Back to 0. Now I'm just talking to myself right now. Going into a minute, and we're at 0 viewers here, so I don't know where everybody's at right now. Oh, got one viewer again. So for those of you guys who aren't watching live, who are watching this after the fact, I'm sure it is boring as fuck right now. And the door just closed. Got 2 viewers. Who's out there? Say hello. Say something. I'm not planning on being on here for long today. Let me put something to block this door. I want to have some air and light. 3 viewers. 4. Who's watching me? 5. There's people out there watching me, but nobody's saying anything. They're being creepos again. Come on. I don't see anything. The chat stream is up. It's live. It's working. It didn't disappear. There's just nobody talking out of 5 people now. People are just watching me talk to myself. Well, since nobody's saying anything, might as well just end this stream, right? Three viewers. Amazing. Maybe I'll just toy with people for a minute. This will be an interesting experiment. Come on, just say something already. Fuck. I need some interaction here. That's what live streaming is all about. Otherwise, why do I bother? It was going good yesterday and the day before. Going on 3.5 minutes now. Still nobody's saying anything. Come on, guys. Give me something to talk about. Got 6 viewers now. Where's Final Fantasy at? Or even Anthony, fucking Walking Journey. Somebody, anybody, say something. There's 8 of you now. Bunch of creepos just watching me talking to myself. I swear. Finally, Bumble the Bee 20 says hi, Brian. Hi, Bumble the Bee 20. Oh, you got something there. Some sign of life. Come on, people. 7 people out there. Greg Stott says, I've been trying to ask questions the past couple of streams, Brian, but you never answer. Boo-hoo. Hope you are well. Take it easy. Bumblebee 20 says, what's new? Not a whole lot. Just trying to do another live stream here and see what happens. Trying to grow my channel as usual here. As I said in the past live stream, this seems to be an easier way to put videos out because I don't have to go through the whole editing and rendering and uploading process. I mean, editing alone can take hours, and then the whole rendering process, which is to actually compile the whole edited project into an actual single video file that it can actually upload, that can take anywhere from an hour to an hour or two or more, depending on the length of the video, especially like something like almost 3 hours long, like my August 13th live stream was. Oh my God, that would have taken probably like 10 hours to render on my laptop or something. Let's see. Greg Stott says, "You a movie fan, Brian? What's your favorite films, and what are the first films you remember watching as a kid?" Oh man, so many movies. I mean, I haven't really seen a lot of like the more recent stuff. I don't really have much of a life, can't afford to, so I don't go out to the movies and stuff. It's been a while since I've even done that. I don't know. I usually tend to gravitate more towards like sci-fi kind of stuff that makes you think, bends the mind, which is why I'm so adamantly pushing for getting the RV so I can start my Roadtrek series, because that's all about that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like my chance to kind of want to have my own go at it, basically. Fave sci-fi films. Well, besides all the Star Trek stuff, obviously. I mean, it's not only sci-fi. I like other stuff too, but mainly a lot of sci-fi. So like stuff like Avatar, the Terminator stuff, especially the first one. I mean, the more recent ones were I mean, they had really cool effects and all that kind of stuff. But Greg Stott says The Voyage Home is my favorite Star Trek. Yeah, that was a pretty good one. Yeah, like all those original old Star Trek series, in general were pretty cool. They have like their own like vibe to them that nothing's been able to replicate today. Even though the newer stuff is pretty good, still in its own way. They're all just kind of, oh yeah, and the Wrath of Khan. Yeah, that one's a classic. Nobody's been able to replicate that either. They tried to in Star Trek Into Darkness. That was okay in its own, way, but they're basically two separate things altogether. It's kind of interesting, but they do play on the splitting universes, timelines, that kind of stuff, which is interesting. Rosie the Enabler. Why don't you get a job and do a whole series on what it's like to work? I've actually done that before when I was working in the warehouse. Like, some people swear I just, like, I don't know if Rosie the Enabler means it that way or not, but some people swear that, like, I just don't want to work or I'm lazy or whatever. But I've held a warehouse job, and I did do videos of them, or of it, and I put them out there. But then I kind of pulled some back a little bit after the fact because I didn't want to get in trouble with my boss. But then, considering that company doesn't even exist anymore, I don't know, maybe I might relist them as public so people can watch them again. Who knows? That might be coming up in the near future. I don't know. Let's see. Greg Stott says, "Hope you're doing well and taking it easy. Don't let the trolls or naysayers drag you down." All right, cool. He's giving me like a fist bump emoji, little heart, sending love. Love it when I just love it when people send love and support to me. It's great. I wish there was more of them and less of the trolls. I swear. T-Berg says, "I told you about Super Chat." All right. Got 1 like, 8 viewers. Yesterday when I had about 30 viewers and I had like about 9 likes, I think somebody said, I don't know if it was you or somebody else who said that you should have 30 likes if you have 30 viewers. And I'm like, I know, right? And some people just watch me but don't like me for some reason, but they still watch me. I don't know. So I got 8 viewers, still 1 like. Oh, 2 likes. There you go. Just forgot or what? No, I'm just teasing. I'm just trying to make these videos interesting. I'm really trying to grow my channel here because I have been, I'm not going to lie, I have been making better AdSense money lately, especially since that one Uber pool rider video started going kind of viral there. My channel as a whole is quickly approaching 1.5 million views, 1.5. So yeah, so that's pretty exciting, and it's been. I mean, it's not getting me to a point where I can get an RV yet, but it's better than it's ever been before, which is very encouraging. I didn't think I'd get to this kind of level of income through AdSense before even getting the RV. So that's pretty exciting. Oh, and on that note, something I just, I guess, observation about people or what have you there. So yeah, so there's a funny thing that happens a lot with that Uber pool passenger video that's going viral because it's getting so many comments, and I'm starting to notice different themes. There's I mean, a lot of people agree with me on like how I handled everything and all, and they agree that the passenger was being a dick and all, and they're, you know, that a lot of people had a lot of interesting, really hilarious, funny things to say about the guy. But something I also found was another theme that came up was a lot of people seem to think, because in the title it says Uber pool passenger from hell plus harassed by random cholo. But a lot of people apparently their attention spans are so short that they're already like before the video's even finished. Why? I don't know. People just love to jump to conclusions, and I guess that this is why I get into so many arguments with so many people online about my life, my situation and stuff. People they're not even fully understanding everything yet, and they're already but I'm like, no, wait, you're like, wait. That's why a lot of times I'm saying, like, trying to explain, like, okay, but you're not understanding. So there's a perfect example of that. A lot of people, they don't even watch the video to the end, and they're like, they don't, and right away they're like, they don't look like no cholo, and what kind of cholo name is Eugene? And like, the fuck you talking about? Like, the fat guy doesn't look like a cholo at all or sound like a cholo. And I'm like, did you watch the video until the end? The other guy that comes up to my window? Like, I swear, some people that they're already, but before the video's even finished, I'm like, fuck, like, at least finish watching the video first before you jump to all these conclusions and want to tear me apart. So I think that was a very good example right there of I guess, the mentality of some kind of people, and why I get into all these arguments, and people that don't understand because they don't see the whole picture yet, and they're already. So I just wanted to get that out there. Let's see, going back to the comments here. Greg Stott says, what are your YouTube career goals? What do you envisage, you mean envision, or becoming full-time on YouTube at one point? Well, the thing is, there's a lot of people that are doing YouTube right now that are, well, the thing is, there's a lot of people doing YouTube right now that aren't making jack squat. And there's also a lot of people on YouTube that are making a living on it, and some even small percentage even making 6 figures or more. I don't know about more, but there's quite a few of them that are, like, more than you would think. Like, there's not a whole lot of them, but more than you would think, that are making a living and are making, like, really huge money just doing YouTube videos. So with that being said, I think a good way to compare, because I remember this conversation I just happened to overhear these passengers I had one time of like some girl talking about her mom who was in Avon or something like that. And she was talking about how her mom just has like this, like, I guess, magnetic personality or something, that she's just like the kind of person that you'd instantly want to buy this stuff from. And she was talking about that the stuff actually does work, but it's just that, but not everybody succeeds in it, because you just have to be the right type of person for it to be able to succeed at it. Because, like, for me, as a perfect example of the complete opposite, as I was saying in the last live stream, I can't sell jack squat to save my life. I mean, really, it's that bad. Not even my own stuff that I try to pitch, my own solar panel charger that I showed on August 13th live stream. So since I can't seem to sell anything, is I guess just my personality or what? I don't know, but I can sit there and talk about all the benefits of something, and people just end up walking away, or oh, well, I don't have money or whatever, and I never make any sale on anything. So I think YouTube is kind of a similar thing. It's not cut out for everybody. There's a lot of people, like I said, that do go into it and they try it and they fail at it. I, for one, I'm very passionate about cinematography, video. I mean, even this live stream, I even had to throw my Network 126 live logo in there, and actually did adjust like things like the color, contrast level, all that kind of stuff, in the camera settings. So I did do some kind of, editing there a little bit, like kind of like more like real-time editing. But I'm always I just have very high standards for quality of production and all that kind of stuff, and I really try to put a lot of work and time into it. To like well, I mean, if you look around on my channel, it's such a mixed bag of things. I mean, like there's this live stream, and then there's some like poorly just well, maybe not so much poorly edited. Well, I mean, there are a couple, I gotta admit, but just like really simple stuff that doesn't really, it's just me talking or whatever. And then there's stuff like my Roadtrek screen test, stuff like that I really like go all out and like go with the camera stabilization stuff and the software, and like really try to touch it up with all the sound effects and stuff, and try to like immerse you into the scene to make it seem real as I can, at least as far as my budget will allow with the kind of equipment I have right now. But one of the main things I try to emphasize on that, by the way, is that when I do have enough funding for the RV and to start the series, I do want to actually get some real cameras. They don't have to be like thousands of dollars, worth of cameras. They just have to be better than like cell phones and stuff. It's something, and just like a cheap drone or something. One was a DJI Tello drones or whatever, or even the Spark if I can afford to go to that one. That there's another one that I think it's the Mavic or something like that, but that's way more expensive. But even just I've been watching some drone reviews lately, and the Tello, it's only like $100, but it doesn't have a SD card slot, and so you get since it's transmitting wirelessly to your cell phone via Wi-Fi, you get like dropped frames and jumpiness sometimes in the footage, and I don't know, but I think it'll be good to play with, but I just don't even have money for that right now. I need to catch up on my bills and all that kind of stuff and snap out of my depression, and it's just such a mess. Bumblebee 20 says a lot of people sell merchandise. Means Brian should sell Roadtrek mugs. That'd be interesting. I think there are actually online services and stuff where you can do that kind of stuff, where you don't actually, it's like a drop shipping kind of thing where you don't actually have to hold inventory. You just have the stuff custom made like on the spot and sent to the customer or something like that. That'd be an interesting thing to look into. I mean, there is a lot of official Star Trek merchandise, so if I'm going to do Roadtrek and if that series takes off, I might as well have official merchandise for that. Harder Rebel. Would you like my RV, Brian? What I pass on, I'd like you to have it. I don't know if he's serious, but if you are, that'd be cool. I don't even know where you are, but I'm sure you're not passing on anytime soon. Greg Stott says, I hope it works out for you. I hope it works out for the best for you. Legit Tunes is telling me I got 3 likes, 10 dislikes. For some reason on the live stream, it doesn't tell me how many dislikes I'm getting. It only tells me likes. I don't see that until later after the fact when I end the stream, and then I go and look at it, in the Creator Studio and that my listings of videos, and then I can see the thumbs down for some reason. I don't know why. But I got 15 viewers, 4 likes now. I guess somebody felt guilted into giving me a thumbs up right there. It's funny. Well, thumbs up right back to you. Let's see. Ren 1018, where are you? Again with that question? It's like every time I do these live streams, somebody wants to know where I am. I guess everybody hasn't been covered by my live streams yet. I'm currently in the space where I live in. That refrigerator's right there, and the kitchen sink is like literally like right next to my laptop here. My laptop is on the kitchen counter, and my living space, all the cardboard and stuff built up right here. That's where I sleep. So that's where I am. That's where I'm filming, and I've got the house to myself right now. And I'm just trying to take advantage of that real quick before I go out and do some Uber trips and make some more money. I say more money because I'm already making some money doing this live stream. Well, just building my channel in general. My channel is generating ad revenue every single day. So that's why I'm trying to continue building my channel and keeping it relevant with new content. Ren 1018 followed up saying first live stream here. Oh, well, I mean, like, I guess I can't, I've got like over, was it like almost 4,000 subscribers now, something like that. And I've only done 3 of these live streams, and I only seem to get like a handful of people at a time. So I can only imagine that there must be a lot of people who, even like my 4th or 5th live stream, it'll be their first. Even beyond that, I'm already up. I'll be like on my 20th live stream, and people will still be popping in saying it's their first. Oh, chat just disappeared. I was about to get to the comments there. Again, I wasn't really planning on spending as long today on the live stream because I was really trying to get an earlier start on the day today. So I really want to try to get out and drive some trips, earlier today. Plus, it doesn't tend to get as busy usually, like late at night sometimes in the middle of the week. So, yeah. Chat's still gone. Got 18 viewers, 3 likes. What happened to the 4th like? Did somebody take the like back? What the fuck? That's fucked up. 17 viewers. So I guess somebody was like, "Yeah, fuck you. Fuck this. I'm out of here." I take my like back. Oh, look, I just got another like. 18 viewers. Was that someone else, or did they come back and be like, "Oh, okay, I'll give you a thumbs up back again"? I don't know. I'm just rambling, trying to fill in the silence here and try to make this entertaining. Greg Stott says, any YouTube video of yours that is your favorite or that you're proud of, Brian? Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't know. Well, there's at least a couple that I could name. Well, up until the Uber pool passenger video, my highest viewed video, my single highest viewed video was this laptop repair video, which actually, ironically, if you go and look at that video, it's got about 200,000 views right now, and the Uber pool passenger video, for reference, has like almost 400,000, I think, by this point. But anyway, if you go and look at that video real quick, you'll see that I actually repaired a laptop. I replaced the inverter board. Laptops they don't even have inverter boards in them anymore, the modern ones, because they're all LED backlit. But the older ones that had basically CFL bulbs in them, like when you go to a grocery store or whatever, or an office, and you see like those long fluorescent tubes. Well, it's basically what used to be in the back screen, or what used to be the backlight in the screens of the older laptops. So that would require an inverter to basically convert the laptop's DC direct current power into AC to power those CFL bulbs. So those would go out, and then you get a dark screen. So yeah, I do know quite a bit about computers. So trolls, shut the fuck up. Yes, I do know a thing or two about computers. And so anyway, that video, up until that Uber pool video, it was my highest viewed video. So that was kind of like my pride and joy for a while. The Uber pool passenger video is more like kind of like a stroke of luck. It was just, having a camera at the right time and right place, that kind of thing. The ones that I'm more, I guess, proud of, I guess it'd be more like stuff like my Roadtrek. I keep referring to that one, but I did put a lot of work into that Roadtrek screen test back last October 2017. If you go and look at that, I mean, I really went all out with the sound effects and stuff, at least as much as I could, and try to film it as like cinematically as best as I could there. Try to make it look, as high budget as I possibly could with, lenses or whatever I had to use to get that effect to you know. The sound effects are important, which is Foley artistry. That's actually a big thing. I just did a video recently on that. It really makes the picture come alive when you're hearing every little thing in full detail and all. Oh, cool. Got a new subscriber. Jose Silva says, "What up, man? Just found your channel. Subbed. Cool, man." Yeah, check out the rest of my channel. He says, "Keep your head up." Johan says, "Brian freestyle." Yeah, it was pretty much my freestyle. Network 126 live. You don't get any more live than this. Like, this is literally happening. If you're watching live, it's literally happening right now as you're watching. That timestamp up there. That's why I put that up there too. Let's see, what was I saying? Oh, anyway, I guess I want to throw out that I can't wait to start production on Roadtrek because I just got so many ideas for the show. And see, the thing is, ever since I discovered, to kind of follow up on what I was talking about with the drones, you know, when I built that model of the RV and I'm panning over it, just maybe like 2 or 3 feet over it with my camera, or not even my camera, just my cell phone. That's meant to actually replicate drone footage of flying over the RV. But then since I'm seeing that, you know, I could get a drone now for like $100, I'm thinking, well, you know, eventually when I can afford that, I'll at least want to try experimenting with getting one of those. And then eventually when I get the RV, I want to, like, you know, practice flying that so I don't, like, you know, crash or whatever more expensive one later. And just, you know, have that and do some practice shots with that with the real RV, and actually have an actual physical camera flying over the real RV. So maybe I won't have to depend so much on those scale models and going over it with the, you know, handheld or, you know, camera or whatever, when I can actually just film it in real life, in real time. So that'd be exciting. But there's all kinds of possibilities now with the new technology and these new drones that come out. I've seen some of like the demos that they have set up at Target and stuff. I've seen them at Fry's also. I like Fry's. Fry's has really good prices. They have a lot of cheap electronics. In fact, a lot of times I got to stay away from there, especially a person like me with no money, because I end up going in there and like it's just small stuff. Like they have like really good things that maybe like cost like $5 or $10, and I'm like, oh, I really need one of those. Oh, I've been needing one of those for like ages. And then before I know it, I got like $20 worth of merchandise or more. I'm like, all right, like I can't do this. I might have to like put something back, or I'm like, all right, that's it. I walk in a register, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep picking more things. That's how I am with electronics and those kind of things, especially low price. But with my budget, even the low price stuff adds up. So I'm like, I got to put a stop on it. I don't have any. That's another thing too. Like I might have touched on this before. Hardly anybody's talking, so I'm just gonna keep filling the silence here. I mean, there's a few comments. But yeah, so some people think I got a spending or budgeting problem or whatever, but I'm like, I keep explaining, like, no, I got a functioning and making money problem. And I get so damn depressed living the way I do and everything, and no personal space or privacy. And it's like one of the first times in a long time where I start having the house to myself for a little bit. But I never quite always know when somebody's coming back home, so that's always a thing. So let's see, back to the comments here. Let's see, Greg Stott's actually asking me here, have you noticed a change in views or interaction since you started doing live streams? Well, I guess. I mean, I've never had like a real-time interaction with the audience here like this before. And so ever since I started doing these live streams, it's been a pretty interesting experience, rather than, you know, actually filming a whole entire video, going through the whole editing process, you know, rendering it, uploading it, and then waiting for the views to come in, and then reading the comments that come in later after the fact. So it's a totally different experience there. And Joanne says, it's the one-man band, baby. And then he follows up saying, I'm starting college tomorrow. Oh, wow, good luck. Hope you don't fall into a debt trap. What are you studying? Just out of curiosity, if you want to share that. Fatality Fusion says cool. Greg Stott says cool. Well, that's what Jose Silva says, that he just found my channel. Joan says Brian Freestyle. IRC Bully is here. Hey, what's up? Marcel DV just chimed in. How many hours do you make driving for Uber? What do you mean? How much? Are you asking me how much money I make, or how many hours do I drive? It's kind of in the middle there. In a day. What do you mean? How many hours do you make driving for Uber in a day? Are you asking me how? Okay, how many hours do you drive? Okay, well I mean, I kind of covered that in previous videos. I mean, I basically try to explain that, you know, with just the state I'm in, and, you know, just with my depression and energy levels or whatnot, or, you know, lately I've been able to sleep better. My family's been, you know, really trying to give me more silence and space and stuff. So, but I mean, still, just being depressed alone, it just zaps your energy. So honestly, I just try to drive as much as I can, as much as I can handle, as much as I can, you know, tolerate people for. Because I mean, honestly, sometimes I'll get in the car, and sometimes I really feel the contrast when people that have like gone out to like party or whatever and have fun, and they all get in the car laughing and, you know, just having the greatest time of their lives, and I'm just like miserable as I could ever be, just with a straight face driving, and just like asking them what their destination is and stuff, and they're just like laughing and with each other, and I'm just like that's so awkward, and I feel bad. I mean, but it's like, what can I do? I mean, if my life is shit, my life is depressing, and I mean, and then it's sometimes that like seeing how happy other people are behind me, it just makes me even more depressed, because I'm like, fuck, look at these people having a life and having fun while I'm just like stuck in this miserable life and forcing myself to drive them to pay bills that have been due since like over a month ago. Like, oh, when does it end? I just hate my life sometimes. That's why I get so miserable. I was gonna go back to the comments here, but then it disappeared. Oh, here we go. Marcel DV's saying, I know the feeling, I've been there, sort of. And Dax Moody says, it can always be worse. Yeah, I guess true. Bumblebee 20 is asking me, why don't you do Amazon Flex and deliver packages? I looked into that a while back, almost got into it, but I don't know. I just kept doing the rideshare stuff and eventually food delivery. Exotic Film says it's going to be straight. What? First he says, dude, really? And then he says it's going to be straight. I don't know. But, I guess something, I might as well, it would have been better if Final Fantasy were here, but there was a point that I've been kind of trying to want to make in a video about the argument that a lot of people make that, you know, people, like, there's always somebody out there who has it worse, as a lot of people like to say. And I mean, yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, there are other people out there that do have it worse, and they try to say like, well, you know, there's people out there that you know, that have even less than you do, so therefore the logic concludes that you shouldn't feel bad just because somebody else has it worse. And I could kind of see that to an extent, but the whole argument that it just doesn't fly with me. And Final Fantasy agrees with me, but he's not here yet. Otherwise he'd be backing me up like crazy here right now. But he's even backed me up in the comments before other times, and have tried like to tell other people for me basically the same thing that I would say myself. And using examples of like one that I've used, for example, is like somebody who's like dying of an illness in a hospital, like in pain. and then it's like somebody walks up to them like, well, don't feel bad that you're laying there dying in pain, because somebody in some third world country in prison is being tortured to death, and they're having their eyeballs gouged out of their head while they're alive and breathing. So don't feel bad. You might be in pain and you're dying. Yeah, whatever. But at least you're not being tortured to death. Like that. Like that's how fucked it up it is. That's how I feel. You know, like that's a really extreme example that I just threw out there in everybody's faces, but like the way I see it, you know, one worse negative situation doesn't automatically just completely invalidate another. It does. I don't see that it works that way. They're both shitty situations. I think they should both feel bad and shitty. I mean, really, they're both shit. So just because somebody has it worse doesn't mean that the one who has it less worse shouldn't feel bad. I mean, it's still a shit situation. Dax Moody says it can always be better, right? LOL. Exotic Films wants to know what type of lens are you using? I went over this in a previous live stream yesterday in the past one, but here's another one. It's very similar in appearance to the one that I have clipped onto my laptop right now, which that's how these attach. That they're just clip-on little wide-angle lenses. One gives a slightly different view than the other. One's more like a wide angle, and the one I have on here currently is more like a fisheye. That gives you that whole round thing. But this one doesn't do the round effect. It just like sort of kind of gives a wider shot, but just a little bit wider than the standard built-in camera the laptop comes with. And the chat stream just went away again. So we're going to wait for the chat stream to come back up real quick. I don't know what else to say. I keep trying to fill in the silence and talk about my life and all kinds of things, but I don't know what else to talk about right now. So I was going to go back to the comments. 16 viewers, 5 likes. 36, almost 37 minutes now. Come on, chat, come back. Let's see what people are saying. That's the whole point of this live stream. Don't you guys just hate when things don't work? Like you're supposed to? Yeah, like you, Brian, B for T. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah, I could already see that one coming. No, but I mean like technological things like your phone or something that like it just doesn't work how it's supposed to, and it freezes, or it does something that you don't click on or whatever. Or you click on something that doesn't respond, or it just freezes up, or just totally reboots right in front of you, or something crazy like that. Like, what the fuck? I hate shit like that. It gets on my nerves. Or like when I'm driving Uber, even when I'm driving Uber, the app will glitch on me. The map will even freeze and stop, like showing where I'm going. Or a lot of times it'll just like keep spinning around and trying to reorient itself, and it can't figure out what direction I'm going in all of a sudden for some reason. And it'll like it's like spinning around it and like moving over and jumping around to other streets and telling me turn left, turn right, turn. And it's like interrupting itself because it can't even keep up with its own confusion. Like, oh my god, I don't even know where the fuck I'm going. That usually happens like around downtown LA and stuff when I'm like driving in between all those skyscrapers and shit, or going through a tunnel. You know, like, oh no, I can already see it coming. I'm already expecting the GPS to just start spinning and going crazy. And then I suddenly don't know where I'm going, and then the embarrassing part comes when I have to ask the passenger. I'm like, you know how to get to where we're going, because my GPS is just totally fucked up right now. The built-in Uber GPS. But it'll do that on any GPS app sometimes. Like even if I like try to use a Waze as a backup or something, it'll like be spinning around and tell me turn left, turn right, go straight. Greg Stott saying, no one has any idea what we personally go through, mentally especially, or physically. I have this feeling of guilt when I'm feeling low or even a bit sick, that there's always people worse off. Interesting perspective there. Exotic Film says, yeah, I figured it was a fisheye lens. Well, yeah, fisheye lens typically have that bubble effect. which is supposedly how fish see. Heart of the Rebels saying I turn location off on mine. Can't have the trolls knowing where I am. Well, I'm using a laptop to do this. I don't know if you're talking about doing live streams, but I'm using a laptop that doesn't even have a GPS chip in it. Ryan K. Brian, what's up with that troll that thought you were Jewish? LOL, that was crazy. A lot of trolls think I'm Jewish for some reason. I don't know why. Which I'm not. I mean, nothing against Jews. I don't have anything against Jews. I'm just not Jewish. Corey Gooddry says, can you just take me home? I guess making fun of that Uber pool passenger video. Just go straight. He's saying, ignore the GPS. Yeah, making fun of that video. That video's just been going viral. He's laughing his ass off. A lot of people think that video's hilarious. Some people even think it's staged. It's not staged. Just for the record, it's not staged. The dude was lost. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think he was lost. I think he knew where he lived, because he even said, he's like, I know where I live. Like, I'm sure he did, but he just wasn't understanding that it was a pool trip. And I had another passenger. I had to deviate a little bit from the straight route to his house. And if he would have just sat there and been patient, I would have picked up the next passenger, and more than likely he would have been the next to be dropped off, since he lives that close, supposedly. And I doubt that the next person that I picked up was going to be dropped off somewhere closer than him. So it would have only added maybe 2 or 3 minutes to his trip to the time he would get home. But he said he wanted to cry and yell at me. And anyway, that's why that video's going viral. And I think also because it had a cholo at the end, which I just touched on earlier. A lot of people think that I was referring to the passenger as a cholo. No, the guy at the end, the fucking cholo that came up to my window knocking, like, the fuck you looking at, bro? That was a cholo. I swear people don't watch the end of videos and just jump to conclusions like I was ranting about earlier. Corey Gooddry asked me, what do you think about all these GD scooters? Are you talking about I never heard about GD scooters. I don't know what you're talking about specifically with that one. Are you talking about those electric scooters, though, that you can like rent by the hour or per mile with your smartphone? Because they do have similar things out here. It's not called GD, though. Okay, yeah, Corey Gooddry is saying yes. Yeah, I've seen some of those. And actually, the first time I saw one of those, I thought somebody had just abandoned an electric scooter. And I think it was around like Santa Monica or somewhere like that, I think. And I'm thinking, and I was just driving around, I just dropped off a passenger, and it was kind of late at night. And I'm thinking, wow, did somebody just abandon an electric scooter or something? Like some rich boy just have it, and the battery just died, and they're like, I don't want this. My parents will buy me a new one. And so I actually stopped my car. I pulled over, put the flashers on, and I got out and I checked it out. I'm like, the fuck is this? And I'm like, but then I realized, because I got on it, I tried to ride it just to see if it was functional. It started beeping like crazy at me. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, oh, this is some kind of thing that you rent. I was like, oh, wow. And so ever since then, I'm I'm actually surprised that people don't try to steal those things, because I'm not going to try to do it. I left the thing alone once I saw what it was. But I'm surprised that nobody would just try to grab one real quick and disable the GPS tracking within it, rip out the power source, and just rewire the thing to just work as a regular electric scooter. I've actually seen, not with the electric scooters, but I've seen it was in Wilmington, out here in California, the city of Wilmington, not Wilmington, Delaware, I think is the state. But anyway, here in California, the city, I saw there was because they also have bikes, like just regular bicycles that have these well, they have different colors. They have some blue ones, some green ones. This is one of the green ones, and it's got some kind of some kind of thing over the back wheel, on a rack, and it's got a little solar panel, and it's got even a thing to swipe your credit card, I think, or something. to be able to rent the thing, and so it actually has like an electric lock that goes through the rear wheel, and so when you swipe your card or whatever, then it unlocks and lets you ride it. But somebody actually, I guess that they hijacked one, and I guess like they hacked it, broke it, whatever. They broke that locking mechanism so it can just be ridden around freely. I saw that one time in person. So yeah, Corey Goodry says crackheads are stealing them here for sure. Yeah, I mean, I would think like I mean, if I was a company and I was thinking of like doing something like that, I like, well, first of all, I wouldn't be thinking of doing something like that, because that's the first thought that would cross my mind is, especially with the exploding homelessness epidemic around everywhere, especially Los Angeles County, like I keep bringing up and mentioning and talking about the statistics like hundreds of thousands of times all over my channel and all over the comments. Yeah, so that's the first thing I'd be afraid of is homeless people. I mean, not that I have anything against them. I mean, I feel their desperation and all, but from like a corporate perspective, I'd be like, no, fuck no, no way. The homeless are just gonna take them and hijack them for their own use because they don't have anything else. There's people that are out there that are that desperate. See, Basco Tech says, just found your channel from your Uber story. Hope you get on your feet. Thanks for love and support. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, so I can't say thanks, man, or but yeah, thanks for love and support. I appreciate it. So definitely a lot of rough times that a lot of people are going through right now. All 20 of you guys watching right now, how many of you guys agree? Guy, and is that the kitchen? Vascotech follows up with, yeah, basically, I mean, the laptop is on the kitchen counter. And as I was saying earlier, my second highest view video next to the Uber video is a laptop repair video. If you go and watch that, you can actually watch me repairing the laptop on the kitchen counter where I currently have this laptop sitting right now doing this live stream. And again, the reason why I did the laptop repair on the kitchen counter is because I live in the kitchen. The refrigerator is right there in front of me. The kitchen sink's right here next to the laptop. That's how I gotta try to live my life. That's why I don't really have a life. That's the honest truth right there. David VR says, eBay is great for a side job. Yeah, but I don't think, can you do drop shipping with that? Because I don't have any storage space for anything. Vasco Tech says, you know what's crazy? I just went to LA for vacation with my girlfriend, and we went to Venice, and we seen so many homeless people, and we wondered how. Oh, wow, that's great. Where are you from? I'm just curious. Since you said you came to LA for vacation, that means you're not from here. But I love that comment. That's just Maryland. Oh, yeah, actually, I got next to DC. I actually have family out there in Maryland, Ocean City area. Yeah, I've actually been out there to Ocean City a few years back. Yeah, so anyway, I love that comment about that you're just absolutely shocked at the amount of homeless people. I'm sure you saw a lot of RVs, right? A lot of probably even saw like rows of them, like just RV after RV with maybe like a car or two in between, but it's like a street that maybe had like a bunch of RVs on it. A lot of people that's their home. They're living in those. Yeah, RV everywhere. Yeah, lots of exclamation points. Again, emphasis on the exclamation points and how many of those he put there, or she. We talked about it so much. Oh yeah, well, if he has a girlfriend, yeah, it's a he. Yeah, we talked about it so much. I'm sure, yeah, especially if you're not from here, and then you come out to Los Angeles, and then you see all of a sudden how bad the homelessness is out here. I mean, that's a perfect example. Literally every street and parking lot. Yeah, that's how it is. So for all the trolls and the naysayers who are trying to say, oh, it's just you, you're the only one struggling, everyone's working, unemployment's down, you just have mental problems and this and that, and you're just lazy and you're just not applying yourself. And because that's what a lot of people say, and I keep trying to counter the argument. There's a lot of those people that you see living in those tents, living in those RVs. A shocking number of them are actually employed. They're working. They just got pushed out because of either they had an emergency and fell behind on their rent, or the rent went up and they couldn't keep up with it. Rent and cost of living has been up, and wages has just been stagnant. Like hardly anybody even has any money in savings anymore. People are just like living paycheck to paycheck, or going into debt, living with family. As I said in the previous at least couple live streams now, age bracket of 18 to 34-year-olds, the millennial generation, is actually more likely to be living at home with parents than on their own with their own spouses. It literally is that bad. So Basco Tech, says, yeah, we have homeless people here, but over there is a complete 180. I felt bad, honestly. Yeah, I mean, anybody with a consciousness and open eyes to even see it and acknowledge it, that it's even happening in the first place, and then a heart to feel as a human being, yeah, anybody would. Yeah, Basco Tech is saying again, all in caps. People who say that don't fall on hard times and they have good support systems. Basically, basically saying that people that that have the good support systems, they don't understand what it's like to fall into hard times. The people who have money and rich families and whatnot, that they just live on a completely different world and a different reality entirely. They don't have the same kind of problems and worries that most normal struggling people do. The struggle is very real, and the struggle is very widespread. It's a very deep-rooted societal economic problem going on right now, but emphasis on Los Angeles County, as Basco Tech was saying, because he's from Maryland. Yeah, Basco Tech is saying shit happens. It's so easy to fall on hard times. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's why, too, like I just mentioned, a lot of employed working people with jobs are some of those people that you're driving by, seeing living in RVs. Because you're working paycheck to paycheck and just paying the bills and just being okay, and then all of a sudden your rent goes up $200-300. You can't keep up with it anymore. Maybe for a little bit you can, like you go into debt with your credit card or something, borrow from friends or family, but then once you exhaust all those resources, then you just can't keep up anymore, and then before you know it, you wind up falling behind, getting evicted. And then when that happens, then you have an eviction on your record, and then you have no money to put down on another place anyway. That's the thing that what I hate about renting is you throw all your money away renting, and then you have nothing to show for it in the end. Even if you spent like decades renting and like throwing away hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent, then in the end, as soon as you fall behind, you're just on the streets and like you're just some worthless bum who's just lazy and didn't work all those years. Like, Harder Rebel, does your dad own that house? No, it's just rental property. That's why I can't build anything. I can't, like, I'm okay. I guess I can cover this right now, because some people try to tell me, because first of all, they try to like imply that I'm not creative or whatever, and that honestly, because I could do more with this living space. I got this whole idea that because the ceiling goes up so high, and it's actually got like a little kind of like a half wall up there. I've envisioned this whole thing where if I build basically a giant bunk bed kind of thing, I could build the entire frame myself and basically elevate my mattress to just barely come up above that wall thing right there. I could have my room up in there, and I can close the whole thing. I'd have to take down a couple fan blades here. This fan doesn't even work anyway. It doesn't even spin. The bearings are out on it or something. It doesn't even spin freely. But I literally had this whole idea, and I could have some kind of ladder or something come down here and turn the whole downstairs part as like my office and storage area. But it's rental property. It's not that I'm not creative. I'm one of the most creative out-of-the-box thinkers I know. I've said that before, and I'm saying it again now. It's not that I'm not creative. It's just that this is rental property. I can't be doing shit like that. As it is, I already had a canopy out there on the back patio to try to do a computer repair business, and I already had to tear that down. You know, that was just a canopy kind of thing. It wasn't an actual structure. Well, it kind of was, but it wasn't. It was like a kind of more like a tent-like structure with steel tubing. Harder Rebel saying, if you have bad credit or are a felon, you'll never qualify for an apartment in most states. Yeah, that's true. Luckily, I don't have any felonies on my record, but I do have very, very, very bad credit and an eviction. Initial B says, lost my job in April, and now my credit is ruined because I couldn't pay on my credit cards anymore. Now it will take years to rebuild it again. The credit system is fucking bullshit. Initial B, initial underscore B. I totally agree with you, man. My sympathy goes out to you. My situation is shit myself, but reading your comment, I still, sympathy goes out to you, man, because I understand. It seems that only people that are actually going through or have gone through shit seem to actually understand shit. As was just being talked about a few minutes ago about people, you know, with rich family support systems, or even just people that just, you know, got lucky before and had a good job and still have, and maybe still have it by some miracle, or maybe just still have, or just have a good retirement now or something, and they just don't get it. They're just in another world. They don't understand what it's like for this generation today to try to come up and make it and do something in life. It's very sad. Harder Rebel says, steal a house, just don't tell anyone. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. Yeah, David VR says, Brian, that would be cool if you built an actual bedroom in your dad's house. Oh, it's a rental. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's a great idea. It would give me so much privacy because I'd be able to sleep like up in there, you know, up in there. And that I would have like a solid wall. It would be a lot more soundproof. And I would have so much more space down here. I could just like have my desk out with the computer, have this whole part enclosed, and even have like a little door maybe. But it's not even my family's property, and the landlord literally lives right next door. They even have a problem if I just sleep in the car in the driveway, which I mentioned before. So I don't want to be stepping on toes and getting my family in any more potential trouble there. Basco Tech is laughing his ass off at Harder Rebel. You're serious about this, about his comment about stealing a house. Oh, man. So much bullshit and so much fucking drama out there. JB says, get a 2-bedroom apartment with your dad. We can barely even afford this place. I put this out here before. I don't want to put too much out there, but my family is struggling right now. That's why I keep trying to emphasize it really is that bad. Everyone's fucking struggling right now, including my own family. We cannot afford a bigger place when we can barely even afford this one right now. Basco Tech, how many people live in your house? It's 3 people in a 1-bedroom, which is why I'm living where I'm living. There's already 2 people in the bedroom. Well, not right now, because I wouldn't be doing this video right now. Does your dad work? They both work, but their schedules are just, it's really weird right now. I don't want to get into their personal lives, but there's been some job changes and shit going on, and just it's been unstable and kind of crazy lately. But I don't want to get too much into it, and it's their lives, and I'm not going to put all that out there on the internet. But it's pretty crazy right now. A lot of people struggling, including my own family. I'll just put it that way. Let's see. Come on. Any more? I'm trying to look for more questions. I'm trying to go back to the comments here. Are they supportive of Roadtrek? Well, I've told them the whole idea for the show, which I haven't publicly told, especially with people out there trying to plagiarize my work. I told my family and close friends and whatnot, and even a couple random strangers before, who I just felt okay with talking about the whole plot with the show with. And they think that they actually think it's a great storyline. It's good material, and it's very creative, and that there's a lot of potential to go with the storyline with it. Again, I can't put it out there because it's not even in production. I don't want to put my idea out there, but I do have a lot of ideas for the show, and I can take it so many places. What about doing one of those sleep studies for money type things? I think those are kind of hard to get into. I don't know, the whole field in general of medical experiments just kind of gives me the willies. I guess the sleep stuff's not that bad, but like other stuff, like when they try to test experimental medications on you and shit, I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know if I want to be a guinea pig, because I mean, you could literally that they could fuck you up potentially. I'm sure you have to sign all kinds of waivers and shit, and just say like, well, we're giving you this money, and then you sign this and this and that, and so if we kill you or fuck you up permanently, well, here's your money. You can't sue us. Bye bye. That's how that shit works. So I don't know. I don't want, guinea pig. JB saying trade in the car for an RV. I can't. I wanted to get an RV, but my family decided that they were only going to help me get a car, something to make money with, not just something to live in. And it's not my credit. It's not my name on the car. It wasn't my decision. And so, I mean, it was generous. It was generous in itself, so I'm not going to complain. I mean, I have a car now. Because before I had a 22-year-old station wagon, and then after that I was going into debt with a $954 a month rental from Hertz, which ended up making me lose 2 bank accounts within a year that I overdrew. And the chat, I'm waiting for the chat to come up. It disappeared again, as it always does about like 20,000 times throughout these live streams. I just saw it blink in for a second, then it blinked out. 23 viewers, 7 likes. Only 7 likes, really? 23 people watching, only 7 people like me? Watch it go up to 8 right now. Come on, don't be shy. Camo went up to 8. That's funny. Oh, it's hilarious. So comments just came back. Basco Tech, what do you do in your free time? Well, see, that's the thing. Since I exist pretty much when my family's home, I hide behind these pieces of cardboard. There isn't really much, a whole lot I can do. Can't really have a life. I can't like have my girlfriend over and like do things or just watch a movie. Or really, I mean, it's just can't really do anything. That's why I get so fucking depressed. So a lot of times I'll just be glued to my screen. I think my family even thinks that like I'm just obsessed with being glued into some form of a screen, but it's not so much that. It's just I want to escape reality and just be in my own space as much as possible. I mean, I'd rather be behind the camera or in front of the camera, either filming or being in my Roadtrek series, or just doing all kinds of other random videos. I want to be producing. I want to be out there in the world doing shit. But since I can't, the only other option is to just bury my face in a screen and hide. That's pretty much all it consists of, doing YouTube videos or watching YouTube videos, watching Glitch in the Matrix type shit. Or it's more like listening to it because it's more like an audiobook. It's just someone reading a bunch of Reddit posts. And then sometimes I'll just go straight to Reddit and just read them directly myself. A lot of interesting stories. So back to the comments here. Yeah, David VR is saying the Heart of Rebel, or you can squat in a vacant property after a few years and get ownership. And Heart of Rebel's responding to David VR. In most states, yes. California has really fucked up adverse possession rules. Yeah, but I mean that's very. technically what they're saying there is true. You can technically take over a property like that, but it's kind of a gray area of the law, because you can still, I guess, kind of get in trouble in the process of doing that. But then if you get away with it, then you get away with the property legally, as I understand it. It's really weird. Let's see. Michael says, I've noticed you're good at fixing things. Why not offer a service to fix people's phones online? Well, like I said, I'm actually really due to release this video because I just found some more footage and stuff. I'm trying to compile something. But I did have a canopy that I built out in the back patio out here, and I did try to have a computer repair business, a little shop out there. But just with the economy the way it's been, I felt like I was pulling teeth trying to get people to drop off their 10-year-old computers with me that needed maybe like 20 or 40 bucks worth of work. And they're like, oh, I don't have money. I gotta wait till I get paid. And I'm like, oh, it's like, I was like, all right, how about 20 bucks, 15 bucks, 10 bucks? Just leave your computer with me. I just need to make some money. Like, just let me fix it. You clearly need the repair. So that's kind of how that went. And then after my mom, the whole thing, when I heard that my mom was dying of cancer, and I had to go back and, take care of that whole thing and live with her and help her out and stuff, my family didn't want that canopy up anymore, and they made me come back and tear it down, which was kind of depressing, but it's their place. Well, not even their place. It's rental property, so I guess they're afraid of that too. So they made me tear it all down. So I haven't had that since. So, and other than that, I don't have space to be working on phones. As it is, I'm doing this video right here on the kitchen counter, but right now it's just because I'm home alone. But if people were home right now, my talking would be interfering with them and stuff, and their presence would interfere with me. And I'm standing literally right now in the pathway to the kitchen, so they would be constantly walking. I'd have to be like constantly going like this while they like walk behind me to go to the kitchen, or I'd stand back here and they walk in front of me. So this is literally the pathway to the kitchen. So anyway, yeah, that's my life, my joyous, wonderful life. Ray says the economy is booming, bro. Okay, I'm gonna set you straight right here. Tell me if these are signs of a booming economy, bro. We have homelessness that just in Los Angeles County, and just between 2016 and 2017 alone, just suddenly skyrocketed out of nowhere by over 23%, and 75% nationally over the past about 6 years. You can go look this up on Google yourself. If you don't believe me. Also, my generation, the millennial generation, 18 to 34-year-old age bracket, more likely to be living at home right now with parents than with our own spouses right now. That's how bad it is. That's how crazy it is. Cost of living, which is the next thing I'm going to, which is due a lot to that. Cost of living's up. Wages have been pretty much stagnant comparatively to that, which is what's causing also the drive in homelessness and millennials living at home with their parents. Suicides are also up, unfortunately. The amount of people with $1,000 savings in the bank account are almost non-existent. Well, I mean, there's still people that have money, obviously, but there's a shocking amount of a large percent of Americans that just don't even have $1,000 in the bank even. So you can go look this all up. Signs of a booming economy. I don't know, bro. That's what I have to say about that. Ray. What did you say about that? She said something else back to me while I was in the middle of that rant. Robert Blake, the actor? What are you talking about? Oh, he's replying to Heart of Rebel. Look up channel Robert Blake. No, he's a YouTube success guru. Certain states it's booming. Well, of course, there's going to be some states and certain areas that are doing better than others, but overall, and especially where I'm at, it is not booming at all. It's far from booming. The only thing that may be the case is unemployment is down. They keep saying that, and I think it's probably true. There's a lot of people doing Uber and stuff and not even looking for work anymore and that kind of stuff, so they don't even count as unemployed, and they're just doing their own thing now. But a lot of thing is like I'm perfect testament to that. You know, like I'm trying to do my own thing, survive, but like even if I had a regular full-time job, like I just said, a lot of people who have regular full-time jobs are already living in RVs or in their cars or tents or back home with family, which is my case, which is why I'm living here behind these pieces of cardboard back here. So it's just, that's how bad it is right now. And David VR is saying, or telling me right here, California has a $1 trillion pension shortfall. Get jobs saying suicide now. There's an option. Oh, shut up. Get job. Just trying to encourage me to kill myself. I get so many people encouraging me to kill myself. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with people? Oh, here goes Ray trying to say something stupid here before the comments disappeared. Trying to blame suicides on social media or something. No. You ever hear about the people? I'm not even sounding. I don't even see the comment right now. I just saw it for a split second, but I'm just going to go ahead anyway. You hear about the you know, like the dad or something of a family who loses his job of like 20 years when the, you know, Great Recession happened. He loses his job and he freaks out that much. He literally kills his family and then kills himself at the end. Ever hear about those? Those are not due to social media. Those are due to hard economic times. So back to your comment here. Suicides are up because of social media. Everybody is selfish and self-centered. That leads to suicide. Yeah, totally. The trolls always like to ignore the actual economic reality of things. I always try to make it sound like I'm just full of shit and alone in my problems. David VR says suicide call centers are hiring and start at $17 an hour. Yeah, but that's the last thing I need is to be talking to people who want to kill themselves all day. And I'll be like telling them like, yeah, I know, I feel the pain. I do too sometimes. Like, you should hear me. I live in a kitchen. like actually, if I did that, the person who's like on the edge of a bridge or something who's talking to me, it'll like be like, listen to this, like, oh man, you live in a kitchen? Holy shit, I'm gonna kill myself. I have my own apartment. What am I doing? Oh man, I didn't know. I think I could make something so funny out of such a tragic thing, but I guess there you go. Shit. But yeah, that probably would be the case though. They'd hear my situation. I mean, as it is, sometimes like homeless people will come up asking me for money, and I'm like, I have to tell them like, oh my god, I'm in financial hell right now. I'm like in so much debt. I literally just use some change right now just to, you know, help me buy some food or whatever right now at Jack in the Box. Like, I'm struggling, man. And some people like that they're understanding. They're like, okay, yeah, I understand. The struggle is real or whatever they tell me. Because the struggle is real. People that are going through it, they get it. Vanda DY says In-N-Out starts off at $16 an hour, LOL. Yeah, and I've heard about In-N-Out years ago, but it's also very hard to get into. The competition to get in is very high. It's because they do pay so much. And an Initial B says $16 an hour ain't shit in LA. Yeah, it's basically true anyway. Even if you are lucky enough to get in, it ain't shit in LA anyway. Ray, then move out of LA. Yeah, with what money? You want me to just pull money out of my ass and just relocate and settle somewhere? That's what I keep telling everybody. I don't know why so many people tell me to just get out of, you know, LA or California or whatever. Like, it's just so easy. Like what the fuck? Just move. Just get out. Just what the fuck? Just move. Just come on. No excuses. Just get out. Like, okay, do you not realize that just moving costs money? I don't have money to go anywhere. Fuck. Like, how do you expect me to, you know, unless you want me to go live in my car, just drive endlessly for several hours and just live out of my car, because that'd be my only option if I could even afford the gas, first of all, because once I get there, I'm not going to have any money to stay anywhere, because, again, what money? Moving costs money. Char says, I have no idea why people keep giving him suggestions on ways to make money. He always has an excuse. He wants donations. He could be driving right now. Instead, he stays online complaining. Well, I'm about to go driving after I'm done live streaming. I'm trying to take advantage of having a place to myself. I'm trying to have a life right now because I don't have a fucking life. I don't have no fucking privacy. As it is, I'm standing in the walkway to the kitchen. I don't have these times of having the house to myself all the time or for very long. So that's part of what drives me so crazy and so fucking depressed. I mean, imagine you can never get away from other people or your family or whatever. You're just constantly like in the way or trying to hide, or there's noises, and it's just a mess trying to have a life, just trying to stay sane, just trying to have some straight thoughts. And no, not that kind of way. I'm talking about like just maintaining a straight line of thought. It's just so hard when you're, I got to do this kind of shit just to stay sane, because I get so depressed and then I can't even drive. Some people just have no idea. They're just so quick. Just go. I don't even have any idea what it's like to be me, live how I live, and go through what I go through. So Walking Journey just dropped in. Hello, Brian Fritz, Network126. Oh, good. You're calling me by my name. Because seriously, he likes to call me B for T all the time, at least on the other channels behind my back. But anyway, Ray saying hello, Walking Journey. Ben Rose says, I'm living in the same boat as not having even for food. Yeah, that's sad. See, so many people, that's another testament right there. So many people, even right here in my audience in the live stream, telling me they're struggling to even afford food. What do you have to say to that, naysayers and trolls? Ben Rose is telling me here, rent is taking advantage of the disability and low income. Yeah. I mean, I've heard people personally tell me that one that sticks out is I had this teacher's aide one time when I was still in like high school age, and it was a non-public school. Long story, had a crazy life, but there was this teacher's aide who was one time kind of venting to me. She was saying that, like, I've been renting for, I think she told me it was like at least 20 something, almost 30 years at the time. This was years ago. And she's like, I've been renting for like all these many years. Like, I could have owned a home already. And I was like, wow, yeah, you could have. And then, like, naively me, because I didn't know at the time any better, I was like, well, why didn't you just get a home? Like, well, because we couldn't qualify. Like nobody would accept us, and we couldn't get a home. So we're forced to rent. But like, after all these years of renting, we could have owned a house already. And I'm like, wow, that was actually my first ever exposure to a story like that, and that was years and years and years ago. That was back in must have been 2000, between 2005 2006, somewhere around there is when she told me that story, and I totally agree. And so many people, I'm sure, that they would love to own, but they just can't, so they're forced to rent, throw their money away. And after so many years, yeah, they very well could have owned their own home by now. So, yeah, that's the whole thing on rent. JB says, try holding a sign at a busy intersection that says, struggling YouTuber living in dad's kitchen, need money for RV. Yeah, okay, JB, whatever. Rosie the enabler. I don't know, there's fucking comment. Have you considered prostitution? Network126. No. Because the only ones that would pay to have sex with me would be guys, and I'm not going to swing that way. I'm not even for pay. I'm not going to be gay for pay. Ben Rose says, plus some place won't even help the low income. Yeah, that's true too. Just another contributing factor to the exploding homelessness that I keep talking about. Vasco Tech, do you have people over? No. How? Where? Where are my guests gonna sit? Where? It's just a twin bed surrounded by pieces of cardboard. How am I supposed to have guests and have a life? Ray says you could rent a RV, bro. Oh God, here again, the stupid bro. Our Ray. First of all, like I said, renting is a scam, and I've seen how expensive it is to rent RVs. It's fucking expensive. Might as well be renting an apartment. So why would I be renting an RV, and then as soon as, you know, of an interruption income or emergency or whatever, and I fall behind on a rent for that, and I get the repo guys or whatever, I get letters sent in the mail like, you need to bring the RV back. You know, it's not your RV. Bring it back now, or we'll report it stolen. Seriously. JB, I guess, is following up saying in the living room. Yeah, my family. That's my family's living space. Fuck. I hardly ever get the house to myself. I never know when somebody's coming home. That's why I need a place to myself. That's why I need the RV. David VR says, I feel like there's a lot of ways to make money, but I'm too bloody lazy to do any of it. LOL. Well, see, the thing is, I've seen some good ideas, at least seemingly good ideas to make money, and I'm like, wow, like I could probably do that too. But then I think, oh, but I might need some kind of like a workspace to work with, but I don't have that. So there goes those ideas. Let's see. Prostitution, you can add $65 to your services to pay for Motel 6. Yeah, but who's going to be paying to have sex with me? Guys, more than likely. And again, I'm not going to go gay for pay. I'm straight. What's going on there? Fucking chat stream keeps disappearing. There it goes. Harder Rebel says, Brian, what is your IQ? And the chat stream just disappeared again. I don't know what it is currently. Something interesting that happened, though, I do remember. This was like fucking years ago, like back in high school age again, even before the last story. I do remember I took just an IQ test just for fun. It wasn't a required thing. I was just on the computer in free time, and there was an IQ test thing on the computer, and I decided to just do it just for whatever. I wonder if I even was the one that brought it in the first place, because I do remember there was a time that because I would go back home, and I would go back on the dial-up internet and try to find like little games and stuff to try to make the school computers more interesting, and I'd come back to school with like floppy disks and shit. This was before flash drives, and I'd like load like little programs and games onto the school computers. So it might have even been something that I brought. I'm not sure, or it could have been already been on there. But anyway, I'm rambling. The point of the whole point of the story was there's an IQ test on this old Macintosh computer, and I took it. And I remember this I took it a few times, but I remember this one time I took it. I got an IQ of 126. No lie. I don't know what it would be at if I took the test right now, but I do. It would be safe to assume that it is above the average. I mean, not like Albert Einstein, but above the average. No, Harder Rebel, is your IQ around 95? I just said I got a result of 126. Michael says an IQ of Network 126. Yeah, basically. I mean, that's not the reason, but that's part of the reason why Network 126 is called that in the first place, because the number 126 in general just has a funny way of showing up a lot of times in my life. So that's the whole thing with that. So that whole IQ result of 126 was just another instance, another example of that happening. So I was like, oh, all right, that's interesting. There's that number again. So that's why when I created this channel, because my old original channel was called Brian Pomona 18, and that's before I even knew about the AdSense revenue program that I can make money on YouTube. That was just more of a thing to just upload a high school graduation project with a stop motion animation made out of Legos. It's still on there. You can go look that up. It was uploaded like 12 years ago, but it's still on my original channel here on YouTube. If you go look up Brian Pomona, BRIAN, Pomona, POMONA 18, which is kind of a stupid name looking back on it all, because I just named it that because, well, my name is Brian. I lived in Pomona, and I was 18 at the time. So I was like, okay, Brian Pomona 18. I really didn't take the YouTube thing too seriously. I just like, okay, I'm just going to look at whatever YouTube channel name, and just to make a name and upload that video that I was working on in school. And then I started uploading more videos after that because again, video production, cinematography, all that kind of stuff, camera work, editing. That's that's been my passion. I've been developing that over the years. Then after I found out that I could make money on it, and there's an AdSense program and all that, I was like, oh shit, okay, I'm gonna start over with the whole new channel, with a better name than Brian Pomona 18, to have something that sounds a little bit more catchy, more mainstreamish, and just start all over again with content that I create, or that I can have permission to use, and because I had some copyrighted stuff that I uploaded to my original channel, so I started Network126. I was thinking of names. It's like, oh, Network126. Yeah, well, there's that number again. I'm going to use that number. So that's how Network126 was born, and that's how it's been since. Michael says, just start living out of a big van. Okay, I have a whole video that I did about living in a van and why I can't live in a van, because I need more than a rolling bedroom. I need a house on wheels. I need a whole functioning house, and plus, because I'm going to be doing projects, I'm going to be filming my Roadtrek series. I need space. I'm a very creative, active person. I need to have projects going on and space to store stuff, and so all that requires more space. That's why I need a Class C RV. Not something too ginormous that I can't park anywhere, but something like in the middle. It's not too small, not a van, but something like with an actual functioning kitchen, bathroom, sleeping area, workspace, a table area, all that kind of stuff. JB says, play the lotto. I haven't recently, but I do every once in a while. I think I won like $11 once. That was about it. 514 says, I wish this guy can be my Uber driver every time. Michael's trying to tell me to go hippie about living in a van. Yeah, I can't live in a van. Go back and watch that video. I actually filmed it in a brand new class or those Class B camper vans. Did a whole video in a brand new one, which it was actually a very nice one that I filmed in, which actually I probably wouldn't mind living in so much. But the older ones that would be like more in my price range, they'd be smaller and not as luxurious as the one that I filmed in. So that was the whole point of that video that I did, of how and why. I mean, granted, it would be better than this back here, but then I still wouldn't really be. I mean, I'd be able to do like live streams and stuff like this, but I wouldn't be doing Roadtrek or be able to have like projects going on. It'd just basically be a rolling bedroom. And used vans and RVs are in the same price range anyway. So if I did have enough money for a van, why not just spring for an RV? Because they cost the same. Ray says, isn't it illegal to park an RV on the road in LA? Well, a lot of people are doing it. Like, what was his name? I think it was Vasco Tech. Ask me again, do you like Uber? It's all over the place here in LA. So many people living in RVs. It may not be technically legal, but there's so many people doing it that it's kind of hard to really do anything about it. And it's kind of fucked up to even try to do stuff about it, because that's people's homes. The IRC bully Network126 for president. Oh, that's a good one. Well, first of all, I don't even believe in the system, but I mean, if I did have some kind of ability to influence, some power to influence some things in this world, I don't know, if I had some supporters, I guess it would be cool to give it a shot. Trying to make life better on this fucked up planet once and for all, and all the stupid corruption and the bullshit. Return quality of life to the masses, all that kind of stuff. That'd probably be one of my slogans, something centered around that, about returning quality of life to the masses, to everyone. No more poverty, no more poverty, no more homelessness, no more struggling. If I could do that somehow, I don't know. That'd be cool. It's cool to think about. Initial B says, I used Uber Monday for the first time. Shit was easy. Yeah, it is pretty easy, and the cars usually get there pretty quick, because there's usually a lot of Uber drivers on the road, like 24/7. So as soon as you order one, chances are that there's one within a few minutes of you, sometimes even just down the street from you. I've had that happen before, actually. Like somebody, I was parked just on the side of some residential street waiting for the next ride ping, and I got one, and it said it was like a minute away. And I looked at like how much I had to drive, and it said like I'll reach my destination like 600 feet or something. And so I was like, okay. So I started up the car, and I just put on the flashes right away, and I just like get up to it, and I'm like, and the guy comes out like, wow, you got here quick. Like I ordered it, and then said you're already here. I was like, yeah, I was just parked right down the street here waiting for the next ride. Is Van Dweller Elvis your father? No, my father's not even on YouTube. Initial B says, I used it twice, and both drivers picked me up in under 10 minutes. Yep, that's usually the experience. There's a lot that's why, that they always talk about, trying to praise the economy. Oh, unemployment's down. See, people are working. Yeah, people are working. People are driving Uber. Shit ton of people, desperate people driving around in Uber cars. But look at poverty. Look at homelessness. Look at the whole rate of millennial generation living with parents. What? I can't even barely pronounce shit. This name here. Garib Nawaz Ebager. Oh, probably another troll name. I don't know. O'Brien, you're making me so hot. Please stop. What the fuck? Oh, Final Fantasy. There you are. I was talking about you earlier. I was making my whole point about other people having a situation worse, and the whole thing about one shitty situation doesn't invalidate another. And I went on a whole tirade. I was hoping you'd be there to back me up on that. But here you are, and asking me, Brian, are you an anarchist? I guess in a way, kind of consider myself an anarchist in my ways and my thinking. Anti-government corruption and wars and military and all that bullshit. So I get a lot of criticism for being against the military. They're like, oh my God, how can you disrespect our servicemen and women who put their lives on the line for our country? They fight for our freedom. And I'm like, no, they don't. They fight for oil and power and money. And they murder innocent babies and women. This war is fucking ugly and it's bullshit, and it's all caused by this fucking corrupt ass government. It's not about freedom. Quit drinking the fucking government Kool-Aid. I get a lot of bashing for that, a lot of hating. I'm surrounded by idiots is asking me, why don't you make enough from Uber? Well, I've covered this already because I live in a kitchen. I got severe fucking crippling depression. It's hard to even function. A lot of people have no idea what it's like to live like I do with no personal space and privacy. The fact that I'm even doing this video right now, having a place to myself home alone for a little bit, is a miracle in itself. I can't have a life. And like somebody just asked me earlier, like, do you have people over? No. Hardly. I mean, I maybe bring a guest over like once in a blue moon to meet my family, and that's about it. Like, but I can't like just be bringing people over and hanging out, and there's no privacy. I can't do anything. I can't have a life. That's why I can't even handle having a relationship. And that's why I get so fucking lonely, and that just depresses me even more, which ends up zapping even more of my energy and making it even harder for me to function. On top of the lack of personal space and privacy. So there you go. That's why I don't make enough. Again, a lot of people think I got a budgeting or spending problem. It's not any of that. It's a making money problem. It's a living in the kitchen problem. So I can't function in the kitchen. That's the whole root of my problem. That's why I need the RV so bad. That's why I'm pushing so hard and with the fundraiser and everything, and because I need the RV. Somebody, Rosie the Enabler, is asking me, do you get EBT? No. I did a long time ago, but I just barely even keep up with the stupid paperwork. I lose shit, and I just get so depressed, and I just, like I said, I can't function in a kitchen. People just don't get it. Like physically, mentally, emotionally, just I can't. Physically, like I try to keep track of like papers and shit. Fucking papers end up falling behind the mattress, in between the mattress and the wall and shit or whatever. or they fall on the floor and they get stepped on, have food spilled on them. It just, I can't, it's just really hard to keep track of shit. And then I just get so depressed and I just stop caring that too. So that just fucks me up emotionally. Brian, do you get SSI? Asked Harder Rebel. No, I don't get anything. I just Uber and I guess get a few donations on GoFundMe and stuff, and I make AdSense revenue. But that's money to actually make through my own hard work of video production and stuff. But it's not enough to live on, get an RV or anything. At least not yet. I'm surrounded by idiots. Says I absolutely get depression, but the more you work, the more you get away from it. Yeah, but the thing is, I just can't stay consistent. Like, I've covered this in another video, and especially that 25-minute rant when I was just depressed as fuck. Like when I get myself motivated, I get out there, I try to snap myself out of depression, which I can do, limited amounts of time. I get out and I snap out of it, and then I'm out of it finally. And then, but even if I get out there and make like $200 in a day and I'm feeling good about myself, like, yeah, I made money. Like, yeah, I'm going to get this RV and I'm going to get out or whatever. Or actually, no, because then I'm thinking like, yeah, then because I got to pay my family back first and I got bills and stuff I got to pay. So it's more like, yeah, I finally get to pay, to catch up on bills. Then when I go out next time, then I can maybe put away a little bit of money on the RV. But then when I come back and I crawl back behind here and go to bed and, it's like it kills me, and it just deflates me, and it, like, even just the thought, even while I'm still out in the car and I'm like, yeah, I made money, is a good day, now it's time to go relax. Oh, back to the kitchen. Fuck, I don't want to go back to the kitchen. And it's actually gotten so bad that like I'll even stall sometimes. Like I don't want to keep driving, but then like I'll just end up sitting in the car, and I'm like, well, but I don't want to sit in the car either because I'm sore from sitting in the car. I don't want to go back to the kitchen either, and then so like I'll end up just driving back to my dad's. But then sometimes I'll pull up in the driveway, and then I can already hear a TV blasting like from the driveway sometimes. Or sometimes it's not even that, but just the thought of going back in to crawl behind my pieces of cardboard. And I'm just like, oh. And I'll just be sitting there, not even taking off my seatbelt, just sitting there in a fucking driveway. And I'm like, oh, I want to go back in there. Oh, I can't even. Oh, fuck. Then that just throws me in a whole funk again. And then the next day, depending on how I wake up, and I'm like, oh, like, why even bother? I'm just going to come back to this shit again. Even if I go and make $300, I'm still going to have to come back to this. So that's the cycle that I get caught in. And that's what a lot of people don't grasp. They don't understand. They just don't get what it's like to live the way I do, or not live. Yeah, so Roy Sachuten says, why do you hate the kitchen so much? Well, so there's your answer. I just answered that. It's misery, it's depression. I can't have a life. Some Garib Nuaz E-Beggar, are you Zia's nephew? Okay, are you who I think this is? Or someone related? I don't even know, because someone who knows who this Zia is. And no, I'm not related. I'm not Zia's nephew. Initial B says, Brian, I remember you doing that RT interview years ago. Crazy, I've been watching you that long. Oh, shit, yeah, who remembers that? It's probably still out there on the RT News channel. I was literally interviewed from here in the kitchen before I had all the cardboard up. I was literally sitting right where this is a new closet thing that I found in a parking lot because I didn't even have a closet, so I wanted at least to be able to hang my clothes in my own personal space. So, but I used to have my computer chair here, and I was sitting here facing my computer with the webcam facing that way before I had that cardboard up, which I don't know how I lived without before. I guess that was just before the kitchen got to me that much. But I did a whole interview like that and talking about how I couldn't find work and how I was just so fed up and frustrated with the economy. And that's still up there. I think that was that back in 2011, 2012, something like that? You go look that up. It's still up there. Go look up, what was it called? Unemployed 99er, something. I don't know. But just, I don't know, something like that. Go look that up and you should be able to pull it up. It's from RT News. Greg Rubin says we need more uploads, homie. Well, this is what I'm trying to do right now with the live stream, because this is actually easier for me to get a lot more off of my chest, and I can actually get videos out there very quickly without having to go through a whole lengthy editing and rendering and uploading process, which is a lot of what slows me down, especially living the way I'm living like this back here. It's very hard to do. But if I have the house to myself just for a little bit, so I can just stand in front of the camera and have something just basically make itself live as I just stand here and talk and, you know, live with people, I think that kind of works out better, because then that cuts a whole lot out of the process. I mean, I don't get to show, unfortunately, in these kind of videos, I don't get to kind of show off my editing and creativity skills, but I guess, you know, I'll save that for later when I get the RV and can actually focus more on actually doing real edited content with fancy editing and camera work and all that. Manuel Gonzalez is saying, you sit there crying about no work when you could have went and kept looking for a job is a fool. Okay, I'm not crying about no work. You're not even listening to me. I'm already working. I work as an Uber driver. I was just talking about how I can't function because I live in a fucking kitchen with severe crippling depression and no personal space and privacy. That's what the problem is. And I didn't say about a lack of work. In fact, I was saying, I'm just talking about how they're always saying about how the unemployment rate's down, which is probably the case. But it's just because compared to cost of living, we still have skyrocketing homelessness. A lot of people that are working full time, even that are living in RVs and their cars, or moving back in with family. Ben Rose is sticking up for me here. People in the chat, Brian is doing the best with what he's what he has, so cut him some slack. Thank you, Ben Rose. Someone who actually gets it, actually has some sympathy, as an actual human being. I swear. Wow, 32 viewers, 14 likes. Well, I guess I am going to end up taking this till 5, but that's it, 5, because that's last time I tried to go like just a few minutes over 5. I thought it was just a couple minutes over 5 will be fine. And then I end up getting walked in again with keys at the door. So this time it has to end at 5. And I want to be out of here and just go straight to driving. Let's see what else people are saying here. Oh, flat for Wankel, Brian, you never got at me for the job, man. You know what? I didn't. Did you even send me a private message me or something? Because after that, I just went and jumped in the shower. Today, I actually jumped in the shower first, so I'm already ready to go now. But yesterday, as soon as I heard keys at the door, I ended the live stream. I just jumped in the shower and got in the car and took off. But if you sent me a private message, I'll go check that out. Let's see. Manuel Gonzalez is telling me, don't worry about other people, worry about yourself. Oh, comments just disappeared. Why does it do that? YouTube, you need to fix this. Seriously. It interrupts the whole flow of the stream. That sounds kind of funny. Interrupts the flow of the stream. Like I'm taking a piss or something. So he says, don't worry about the other people, worry about yourself. My guy, get another job. Well, if I can handle him. We all know what happened last time I had a job at the warehouse. I was falling asleep at work, but my family's trying to cut back on the noise, so we'll see if I could even handle the job. Maybe. Final Fantasy 8911, yes, cut Brian some slack. He's had a hard life and been through a lot of shit. Final Fantasy gets it.
Final Fantasy 8911 has been a long time subscriber, follower of my channel. He fucking gets it. He knows a lot about what's been going on with my life and understands, has some sympathy. He's an actual human being in touch with his humanity. Jarib Nawaz E-Beggar again. That's such a weird name. I don't even know who the fuck you are. Brian, what challenges do you face that everyone else that's able-bodied does not face? Are you trying to imply that this is all just about me? Because, again, we can go over again. If you really want me to go over all the statistics again about the 18 to 34-year-old age bracket, more likely to be living at home with parents than with their spouses, you know, the whole exploding homelessness thing. Do I really need to go through all that all over again? Because if you're trying to imply that it's just me, because this is what the whole trolling agenda has been trying to do, imply that it's all just me, that I'm the only one with problems, and that all this and that. No. I see it every day. I meet passengers, you know, people in daily life that we talk about the struggle. The struggle is very real. A lot of people are struggling. It's not just me. So moving on here, Pyramid Head 138 says, I never appreciated people calling me lazy when I couldn't find a job for 2.5 years. Yeah, exactly. Acting like we ain't trying or whatever. I mean, like, I went through a whole thing. It's still on my channel. I was desperately looking for any kind of stable job I could possibly find. I have multiple videos on the subject. I was applying everywhere, literally everywhere. McDonald's, you know, a place like McDonald's, Burger King, pretty much every fast food, every retail, you know, Walmart, Target, everything like that. Warehouses too, just everything. I was applying at everything under the sun pretty much, and just couldn't get anything. Fucking McDonald's wasn't even calling me back. It's been that bad. And then, yeah, like Pyramid Head 138 said that, yeah, you get people calling you lazy and saying that you ain't trying. Well, fucking shit. This Garib Nawaz E-Beggar. So you have a free roof over your head? Yeah, I live with family, just as most fucking millennials now are these days. I have fucking severe depression. I can barely function, keep up with bills. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Is what I keep trying to, you know, get across in these videos too, but still, people just don't get it. I mean, some people do, and I do appreciate that, but there's still so many people that just don't get it. No matter how much I talk about it and show as much as I can, and, you know, about, I try to show how miserable I am and how I can't function, and people just like, yeah, just go get a job, man. Like, okay, you're not understanding, you're not comprehending my whole living situation, mental state, all that kind of stuff. Oh, well, you just need therapy, man, or just, you know, just get some meds. Like, no, that's not the problem either. I just need living space. I need privacy. That's what I need. Just like any fucking human being or most living organisms. I literally read a scientific whatever journal, whatever paper that talked about most living organisms needing personal space and privacy to be able to function. Otherwise, they don't function, and they don't just, you know, they can't do what they need to do. Same thing with human beings. Heart of Rebels, for some reason, I don't know if this is true or not, says people in LA don't want to hire 30-year-old white males. I don't know. Just for a record, I'm half white and half Mexican, so I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there, whether, I don't know. But I just thought that'd be interesting because I thought a lot of people didn't know that. I'm sure I saw people out in the audience that think I'm Jewish, which I'm not. Which, I mean, so many people that they keep thinking that, and they keep, I don't know, keep trying to spread that and say that, and I'm not. And again, nothing against the Jewish people. I'm just not Jewish. I'm half Mexican and half white. So Ben Rose says, even my brother can't find a job. He's been looking since he was 18, now 30. Holy shit. Wow. I'm sure he's been able to find maybe something in between, right? Maybe at least just a temporary or just like a, you know, random odd labor jobs here and there for cash or something. Just not a stable job, because I've been through that too, where I just went through years of unable to find work. But I was able to find, you know, temporary work, but I just never found anything stable, permanent that I could live on and move out of with. So I just be getting these little like random things here and there for some cash to be able to buy groceries and keep my cell phone activated, and that's about it. David VR says they hire legals who are willing to work for less than minimum wage. And the chat just disappeared again. Here we go again. Let's come back up. There's a lot of activity going on here. I wish all these comments would show up like immediately after when I end the live stream, because then they just disappear into oblivion, it seems. There's fast food places in Northridge and Reseda that will not hire white people. Okay. Let's see. And Dowserbot says sup. Sup. Sup back. I don't know if you're a guy or a girl, so I'm just gonna say sup back. Rosie the Enabler, what kind of job can you do? Well, I guess whatever job I can handle. I can get enough sleep in with my family's schedule. They try to be quieter for me so I can sleep. Harder Rebel says, Brian, steal houses, not cars, less competition. Brian, you are mostly Spanish. Well, I wouldn't say mostly, but I do have it in me. Ben Rose asking me, Brian, do you speak Spanish? Very, very limited. I don't even really. In fact, usually when it's kind of sad, but when people like stop me on the street or whatever, just random people, and they only speak Spanish and they start talking to me. Well, I don't know. Like, well, I don't know. It's kind of depends on a case by case situation. But I mean, the truth is my Spanish is very limited and kind of horrible. But I don't know, sometimes like if I get a passenger or something and they're talking to me in Spanish, I kind of downplay a little bit my Spanish abilities, just because, see, the thing is, because I do know some Spanish and I can respond back in Spanish, but there's a lot of like, I consider, you know, a good way to visually represent my knowledge of the Spanish language is like visualizing a block of Swiss cheese with, you know, a bunch of holes in it. So that's what my knowledge of Spanish is about. Like I can sound like I know Spanish, but then there's a lot of words that I just don't know, understand, or don't just, they're just not in my vocabulary whatsoever. So I don't even think to say them, and so I get stuck a lot. But the way that I speak gives the impression that, oh, okay, he knows Spanish. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, whoa, okay, slow down. Like, okay, like I know Spanish, but not that well. Like I don't understand a lot of what you just said. So a lot of times that's why I just kind of try to have to downplay how much Spanish I know, and like I'll mispronounce things on purpose, just like, oh, he doesn't really know Spanish. So then I'll try to use more English words. I hate to do that. I feel kind of bad, but if I do, like, you know, if I actually try, then I just get so stuck a lot, and they assume I know more Spanish than I do, which I don't. So that's the whole thing with that. I don't know how to pronounce this. Noegusis. That's me. Brian, at least you have a fan installed in your room, because I don't. Oh, yeah, I got a box fan up here, just kind of halfway on this metal closet thing, and halfway on my cardboard up here. I'm kind of surprised it even holds that kind of weight. Just kind of blowing down, kind of circulating a little bit in there. This I don't know if I want to bother with these troll comments. How many jobs did you try to apply today? Okay, you don't understand how I'm living, and I'm already doing Uber. I've been doing Uber trips, trying to make money that way, and I've been making money on YouTube. I can barely even function as it is in a fucking kitchen with severe crippling depression and no personal space or privacy. I don't even know why I'm even so bothering to address that, because I know you're just another troll, but I know a lot of, I mean, people still think, you know, there's a lot of questions on your mind, so I guess I'll just address things here and there. Ben Rose is telling me my brother would work like national parks as cook grounds, and every 2 years it would be hard for him to find a job. Yeah, that's a lot of how it is nowadays. You know, you can find work every now and then here and there, some seasonal temporary stuff, but you know, but even if you do find something permanent, you're still struggling to pay bills and or pay rent. It's that bad. But you know, a lot of times when you're not lucky enough to find full-time work, you're applying here and there, you get hired for a little temporary thing for like maybe a few months, few weeks, and that's it. Then you're back to, I noticed that there's a huge shift away from actual like full-time permanent jobs, and we've transformed into more of like a gig economy society, or like it's all about these side gigs now. Like Uber is a perfect example. Uber and Lyft, DoorDash, Postmates, all that kind of stuff. They're all considered, the side gigs, but it's how people are surviving now. And it's like everybody's like doing like 20 side gigs now instead of just one permanent, stable, full-time job. That's what the economy has been. That's what it's turned into now. I've noticed that not that many people are even working full-time anymore. They don't even want to schedule people full-time. I mean, not that there isn't people working full-time, there are, but it's just that there aren't as many as there used to be or need to be. Harder Rebel says, move to the Midwest, Brian. The winters aren't that bad. Okay, I have no money to go out to the Midwest, and I have no idea how it is out there, and I don't have any support system out there. Tariq 24, show me your room. Well, I've shown, just go to GoFundMe. I've already got better clips than I can even capture on this laptop webcam. Go to my GoFundMe at it's gofundme.com/Roadtrek. That's all one word all together. gofundme.com/Roadtrek. ROADTREK. Go to that, and there's 3 videos on there. The first one is explains how I go crazy living in a kitchen, dining room, whatever, and it's a whole thing that shows everything. What the fuck? What the fuck are you saying, Garib Nawaz Ebager? Have you ever tried being a Uber driver? It's spelled Uber with a Y in front of it. I'm already driving Uber. I don't know what you mean by Uber. The fuck? Rosie an enabler because he asked how many jobs he applied for. He's a troll. Come on, dude. No, I recognize screen names. There's certain people that have been on my channel for a certain duration of time who I identify as trolling and all that kind of stuff. So, no. That's why I even said that, like, I answered it because I know other people that aren't trolls are thinking that kind of stuff too. So I might as well just address it and get it all off of people's minds. Walking Journey says a part-time job would not be a bad idea, Brian. Domino's pizza delivery doesn't pay bad. I used to do that on the side. You know how many times I applied for pizza delivery jobs? So many times. I applied for every fucking pizza place. I applied for, I know I applied at Domino's. I applied at like Papa John's. What are the other ones? Pizza Hut. Like all the main ones. I applied at so many pizza places just trying to get a delivery job. Couldn't even get a delivery job. They wouldn't even call me. Brad Silver Dog. Maybe Nick can teach you acting. Okay. David VR says pizza delivery pays $50 to $100 plus a night for part-time hours. Yeah, but that's if they even call you back and hire you. If not, then you can forget about all that. I'd rather just do Uber. It's about, depending on where you're at and what time you're driving and stuff, you can make the same thing doing Uber. You don't have to, be at the mercy of some hiring manager waiting to get a call back. You just, sign up, make an account, get out and start driving. Pyramid Head 138. Move to the Midwest? Trust me, the grass ain't no greener here. Walking Journey says, let's super chat, Brian. Come on, people, don't be stingy. Yeah, I guess that would be pretty cool to make these live streams a little bit more worth it. It would get me help. It would help me get the RV quicker. Help me get out of debt and get the RV a lot quicker. Harder Rebel says, Roadtrek is my script. I'll make bazillions. Yeah, it's not your script, buddy. And it's not a comedy either. Garib Nawaz. Goddamn, so many fucking... Dude. Shouldn't you be doing household chores after living rent-free? Shouldn't you just shut up already? Like, I just explained how I live with fucking severe crippling depression in a fucking kitchen. Try living my fucking life and try sweeping the fucking floor, which I do that on occasion, but I have to be in the mood for that kind of shit. You have no idea what it's fucking like feeling this fucking empty and dead inside on a daily basis. You have no fucking idea. So many people, they talk so much shit. They think they know all about my life and just think it's so fucking easy. Yeah, try living with fucking severe fucking crippling depression, which, by the way, is no exaggeration. I'm not just pulling that out of my ass. Okay, Garab Nawaz E-Biggers saying too many people are just anti-Semitic and won't hire you, I guess. Okay, well, I'm not Jewish. I just went over this. So I don't know why you're... I'm not... I don't know. People are just weird. People are just weird. Ben Rose, would you work in the national parks for a season? Do you get to live on a national park, or how does that work? Because I need to be able to come home and sleep. Otherwise, I'm going to be sleeping on park grounds while on the clock. Because I'm sure it'd be so much more peaceful out there. I'd be like, oh man, this is shit. I'll just fall asleep. I can finally sleep. I'm surrounded by trees and space, wide open space. It was paradise. I'm just going to take a nap. And the next thing, my boss is standing over me. What the fuck, Brian? Wake up. You're on the clock. Rosie, an enabler, says, prostitution and set your own hours. Yeah, again, I'm not doing prostitution because, again, not the only people who are going to actually pay to have sex with me are going to be men. And I'm not going gay for pay. Let's see. Pyramid Head 138 says, per David VR, pizza delivery was my previous job. If you think your car's in bad shape now, wait till you do it as long as I did. Your car probably wouldn't drive anymore. Yeah, some kind of thing with Uber that I keep hearing about too, which is another stressor hanging over my head. Another thing to worry about is if life isn't shitty enough already. Yoda 124 says, Papa John's gave me diarrhea. What's up with that, Papa John? Why are you giving people diarrhea for? What's up with your pizza, man? Rosie Enabler says, prostitution might have the same effect on Brian at Yoda 24. I don't know. Final Fantasy 8911 says, Brian, did your parents find better employment? How are they doing? We're still kind of in between. Like I said, I don't want to put too much out there. That's their personal lives. If they want to put that stuff out there on the internet, that's up to them. But all I'm going to say is they're struggling right now. I'm just kind of in between stuff right now. And well, my dad's kind of doing okay. Which ironically, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but it was actually a few years back when I was looking for a job for myself. I actually ended up finding my dad that job because the job required a functioning vehicle for being able to drive around, which I didn't have at the time. So I was like, oh, hey, Dad, look at this listing. Why don't you check this out? And my dad ended up getting the job because my dad had a functioning car that was registered to pass smog. And I still had my 84 Ford Tempo that wasn't passing smog, just sitting dead in the driveway with the expired tags on it. So I couldn't even drive it. So that's actually kind of saving us right now. But couldn't get a job to save my own life, but I was able to find my dad a job. Go figure. So there's a story on that. Carter Rubble says, Brian, how did you snag a hot young Asian woman? What Asian woman? I wasn't with an Asian woman. I've actually, for a record, for some reason, I've had the lowest amount of luck with Asian women. I've never even had, to be graphic here, I'm sure the audience doesn't mind. I never even had sex with an Asian girl before. I can believe that. But then again, I mean, how can you really be having sex with much of anybody when you live in a kitchen behind pieces of cardboard? Even if the woman, if the woman has her own place, then she's gonna be like, well, I have my own place. I'm not gonna get with the guy who doesn't have his own place. The fuck? Stop. Walking Journey says, stop masturbating so much. Excessive masturbation causes depression, Brian. Proven fact. Yeah, proven. This is proven says who? I kind of doubt your facts there, buddy. In fact, I've actually I've read multiple things online that talk about all about how having a sexual release, orgasms and whatnot is actually beneficial to your health. I think Walking Journey is just trying to be funny. But then again, even stuff like that, it's like, fuck. I need some fucking privacy. I need living space. So I need the RV, not just for masturbating, but just like even would want to do that anyway. I'd rather just have a girlfriend with me. I mean, I still have that one girl that's in my previous videos, but she's just with her family right now, and I can't. I have nowhere to bring her to. So like, how can I even? And she doesn't have her own place, so how can I even like be together or do anything? Neither of us have our own place. Neither of us have privacy, and neither of us have money. So how are we even supposed to maintain a fucking relationship and be able to be together and have alone time? That's why I need the fucking RV. And not only that, just so I can just, rest whenever I need to and work on my projects, see my shows, all that shit. All the shit that I can't do now. See, Ben Rose is asking me, would you live in employment housing with roommate and work jobs they pay $7.50 to $10? I don't know about roommates. I need privacy. I'm sick of living with no privacy. I'm fucking 30 years old. I've lived with no privacy for most of my life. Like mentioned in a previous live stream, I grew up living, I didn't grow up living initially because we had a house that my mom lost in 2005. But even then, I didn't even get my own room in that house. There was a room in that house, but my mom didn't even want to, give me my own room finally until I was like 13. So that means up until I was like 12, I was still sleeping in the same bedroom with my mom. So I finally got my own room at 13, but then shortly after we ended up losing that house, so I hardly got to enjoy that, and I had to live in my mom's living room in this little one-bedroom apartment. And then, I had this little short time where I lived with this girlfriend, which was a short time that I experienced adult life, and then wound up in my dad's kitchen, then wound up back with my mom in a new apartment, took over that apartment, had that for a little bit, so I had a little bit more of an experience with my own place, and I lost that place, and now I'm back in my dad's kitchen. I'm 30. I need some fucking personal space and privacy already. I'm sick of not having my own privacy. I don't want any roommates. I just want my own RV. I just want to live in my own space. I want to do what I want and need to do. I'm fucking 30 years old already. I mean, seriously, let's be real here. I'm too old for this shit. I'm too old to be still living with roommates and still be unfulfilled and not being able to do things I want to do in life. And I can't see the comments, by the way, so that's why I'm not responding to comments right now. They just disappeared again. By the way, this live stream is ending in like about 15 minutes. Because I'm going to get out of here before anybody comes home. I don't want to get interrupted again and have to just end it abruptly all of a sudden again. So 15 more minutes. I'm gonna end this at 5, maybe 5:01 at the latest, at the very, very latest, and that's it. I'm out of here. I'm getting out. I'm jumping in the car, going out to drive, make some money. Well, actually, I'm gonna go eat first. then drive, make some money. Pyramid Head 138 comments are back, by the way. Says, I'm 35 years old and I've never had much luck with women, period. I can count the number of females who ever had an interest in me on one hand. American women are a joke. Well, the thing is too is if you're in America and you don't have money, you ain't shit to women. Seriously, that's a sad truth. You have to have this. You have to have your own place, car, good job. Then they, see you, But unless you have all that shit, you ain't shit to them. You just ain't shit. You just have to, if you don't have money, it's a very lonely, depressing life. Harder Rebels replying to Pyramid Head 138 saying it's the hypergamy problem. I don't know what that is. Hypergamy. Women only go for 20% of the men. They consider 80% undateable. And Pyramid says, I'm too old to still be living with my parents. Yeah, aren't we all? Gamal Atia says, good afternoon. I'm 20 and I'm married. That's cool. Are you living with your spouse? I'm just curious. Are you living with your spouse or with parents? Because most 18 to 34-year-olds are more likely to be living with parents. You just said yes. Yes to what? To independently or with parents? This various Iroio or whatever, I can't even see it. I just scrolled away. This troll again. If you need money, you need another job. Simple. No, it's not simple living in a fucking kitchen with no fucking personal space or privacy and with severe crippling fucking depression as a result of that. Again, try living my life. You don't fucking get it. All these fucking critics and trolls, you just think it's so easy. Just get a job. Just do this. Just do that. Quit whining. No, you don't understand what it's like to wake up feeling so empty and dead inside every fucking day, feeling unfulfilled and not being able to have your personal space and privacy. It wears on you, especially living that way for as long as I have. It's driving me fucking insane. It's not easy. Not that life is, easy or supposed to be easy, but goddamn, like it's goddamn near impossible. I can't function like this. I can't function like a normal human being. I need personal space and privacy. Don Devion, I guess I'm saying that right, says 80% of men are undateable. You don't need money to make a woman laugh or, I was saying come. Yeah, well, but still, after you make them laugh and come, whatever, then after that, they're like, oh, well, you don't have money? See ya. I'm like, you were fun, but I'm going to go find a guy with money. Let's see. This is Gamal Atia is responding, saying, we're renting a one-bedroom apartment at $1,100 a month. Jeez. The one-bedroom the apartment place I had back in Pomona was $800, and that was considered low. Even $1,100 is kind of considered kind of low. And I don't know if you're saying where, or you're saying a month. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know where you're living at, but there's so many comments. By the way, I'm only doing this for 12 more minutes. I have to cut it off at 12 more minutes, even if I don't want to, because my family's going to come home. I'm walking through that door. I'm going to hear keys at the door like the last couple times, so I absolutely cannot take this past 5. Walking Journey says it's easy to get a booty call. I don't know how you're supposed to do that in the kitchen. Mustard and Fry says, why is anybody giving you advice automatically a troll? Again, no, I recognize screen names. There are certain people that have been trolling my channel. I recognize who these people are. Someone asking me if I'm autistic by any chance. What the fuck? Why would I be autistic? I'm just fucking depressed and live in a fucking kitchen. Oh, I didn't even see this comment. Final Fantasy is fucking comment went away, and I only have like 11 more minutes of live stream left. But Final Fantasy was replying to someone saying about how I don't need therapy. Final Fantasy is always sticking up for me. It's funny because a lot of at least the trolls, they like to accuse me and say that Final Fantasy is really like my dummy account, but no, Final Fantasy is a real person who just agrees with me and sticks up for me. So where's this original Don Devion comment? Oh, do you see a therapist? Maybe you need Adderall. No, I don't. See, I covered this already. I have to cover this shit so many times. I feel like every fucking live stream there's just gonna be like a certain set of things where I just have to cover like by default every fucking time. My head is fine. That's not the problem. You wanna know what the problem is? Living in here in this fucking cardboard box fucking shit. That's my problem. Not having personal living space, not having, personal space and privacy. Everybody needs personal space and privacy. That's what I need. I need personal space. People aren't meant to live in kitchens. I don't need a therapist, and I don't need to be drugged up with fucking chemicals. I just need fucking living space. That's all I need. I just need, for the sake of my sanity, that's all I fucking need. I'm not crazy for going crazy, living behind pieces of cardboard. I mean, I'm standing in the kitchen walkway. This right here is the kitchen walkway. You have to go like this and walk around back this way to get to the kitchen, which is literally right in front of my laptop. The fucking refrigerator is literally right there. The kitchen sink is literally right here on the kitchen counter next to my laptop. I mean, I don't have living space. And the fact that I'm even doing this this video here, right now in the first place is a miracle within itself. Okay, so Don Devion is saying, sorry, man, geez. Okay. I mean, I go on a tirade with that because so many people, I guess you just kind of meant it innocently enough. But a lot of, I get a lot of other people that are just like they're serious. They're like, man, like you really need therapy. Like you're not right in the head. Like you need a help and you need pills. And like, no, I need a home. I need personal space. And I just get tired of having to explain it so many times. So that's why I just kind of went off on a tirade there with that. Cause I'm like, again with the therapy and the pills. Walking Journey says, Brian, do some push-ups and crunches. It'll build up your confidence and create endorphins in your brain. No, but that's not going to work. See, I know, I get what you're saying, and yeah, that may be true, the endorphins and shit, but when you come back to this, it kills all those endorphins. A lot of people just don't get it. Don Devion says, it's okay. I'm used to it. I have anxiety and depression. Oh, fucking comment just disappeared again. Came back. But have every reason not to, and that's the only reason I ask. Oh, well, yeah, there are some people, I gotta say, there are some people that their lives are going okay. They have their shit together, they have an income, they have their own home, whatever, and they're just fucking depressed. I mean, you even hear about it, people that live in fucking mansions, these Hollywood stars that live in mansions and them committing suicide. I mean, they literally have it all. They have all the money they could ever need and then some. And they still, they're all just fucked up and they kill themselves or whatever. And that's a different problem. But my depression is situational, because anybody would fucking go depressed living in a kitchen like this. I mean, really, People aren't meant to live in kitchens. People need personal space. That's all that's about, you know. Change the environment, and all my whole mindset and outlook will be changed instantaneously. Final Fantasy chiming in here says stupid therapy chemicals are massively expensive anyway, and Brian is not stupid enough to pay for that bullshit to solve his living problem. Exactly. No amount of therapy or pills are going to change the fact that I live in a kitchen. So no amount of therapy or pills are going to do shit for my depression until I get the fuck out of the kitchen and get my own fucking living space, because that's what the problem is, and that's what needs to be addressed. Anyway, it's 4:54 now. I got 6 more minutes to go here. Gamala Tia says, I live in Pomona and just work with me at Enterprise. It's easy work. Or you mean the car rental company? We're at in Pomona because that's my hometown. I grew up in Pomona. I grew up, I used to live off of the 10 freeway, off of Fairplex. Well, why would you not rent an apartment until you get on your feet? That's the thing. Go watch my video about rent. First of all, I got an eviction on my record. I got shit credit. No fucking landlord's going to want to touch me anyway. And I don't want to throw my money away on rent again. Renting is stupid. It's a scam. I did a whole video about that. I already threw away thousands of dollars on rent. And even if I didn't have an eviction on my record, even if I did, even if I could even afford an apartment, even if I had the down payment to even put down and to start being able to pay every month, even if I had all of that, still I wouldn't want to throw my money away, because I mean, like I said, I literally had an apartment already. I took over my mom's old apartment after she passed away. I threw away so much money, and then as soon as you have an emergency or interruption of income, you're out. Then you have an eviction, whatever, and that's just it. You're fucked. I'm not doing that again. That's why I want the RV. That's the whole point of the whole driving force and factors behind the RV. I need an RV. The whole point is to never have to come back to this kitchen again ever in my life. I was already in this kitchen once from 2010 to 2013. And then when I heard that my mom was getting sick, dying of cancer in late 2013, I moved in with her, and then helped her move into the new apartment that I ended up taking over later. And I had that, but then, as soon as something went wrong, I lost everything, and here I am back in the kitchen. So why would I go and get another apartment again, try to get another job again or whatever? And then as soon as something happens with that, which it will, in this economy, it will happen. It's just that unstable. You can't depend on a job just being there anymore. Again, I don't want to put too much of my family's business out there, but there was a job that one of them was working at for like about 2 decades, which is gone now. It's just not even a thing anymore. So, and that's why we're struggling and barely, holding on here. So there's a lot of shit going on, and a lot of people are struggling, and it's really that bad, and you just can't rely on jobs anymore. I'm not coming back to this fucking kitchen ever again. I absolutely refuse to throw any more thousands of dollars away on rent that I could go and buy an RV with, and have my own home on wheels that I can drive away with anytime and not have to worry about falling behind on rent and getting evicted and coming back to this fucking place for a third time. I'm not doing that again. So anyway, I see some comments. People are, I don't know, I think I'm going on another tirade here, but that's something that's been addressed, something I've been trying to address so many times that so many people bring up. And when people bring it up, I'm like, I try to explain already. I got a whole video and blah, 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 rent's a scam and throwing money away and I need an RV. Anyway, Final Fantasy, John Devion, 8 out of 10 times antidepressants are a complete waste of money. There are free, natural ways to get the same effect from those drugs. Well, not only that, I mean, I just need living space. An RV would be the perfect antidepressant for me, because I'll actually have living space. I'll have a door to close. Just the feeling that I would get from just going like this, click, clunk, click, walk. Oh my God, I have a door to close. Like, that would just be so exciting just in and of itself. That simple action right there, just closing and locking a door, would kill so much depression instantaneously right then and there in that very moment. You guys have no idea how badly I just need my own place. That's the root of all my misery and problems right now, and all this depression bullshit. Like, you want an antidepressant? That's what I need. The ability to have an actual life. Kamala Tia says, bro, if you want an RV, go to a police auction. There's tons, and they sell for about $200 or $300. I'll have to check that out. Zay went up, talk about the Asian girl. Again, what Asian girl? I haven't even had luck with Asian girls. Oh, well, why isn't she in the video? You're talking about the girl that was in the videos with me is a Mexican girl. She's not Asian. Why does everybody think she's Asian? She's fucking Mexican. She was born here, by the way, not illegal. All the fucking trolls. Oh my god. She's illegal. She got deported. No, she's not illegal and she didn't get deported. She's legal. She was born here and she's with their family. So hopefully, well, no, I didn't. That's not going to do anything to clear it up, because I know the next live stream, someone's still going to be asking me, what happened with your girlfriend? What happened with the Chinese girl? Oh my god, here we go again. By the way, it's 5 o'clock and the comments are fucking gone again. I can't even read the comments. I wanted to at least get to a couple more before I ended the stream. I really have to end it because literally in 5 minutes there's going to be keys at the door again, so I'm going to have to end it regardless. So come on, I'm waiting for the comments to come back. I'm about to end this stream. I really have to end it now, but I really wanted to see what those last comments were. Come on. Still waiting. 22 viewers, 16 likes. I had no idea how many dislikes. There's probably like 50 dislikes from all the excuses that I just put out. Fucking trolls hate the excuses. Yes, the trolls. Come on, still waiting for the comments. It's 5:01. Comments still not back yet. I gotta end this thing. Someone's gonna come home. Again, I'll just still throw this out there. If anybody wants to help me get an RV, so I won't have to end this abruptly all the time. I gotta go drive anyway. I gotta go make some money. Even though I'm making some money on these live streams through the whatever super chat and through well, at least I did on the 13th, and then through the AdSense revenue. But I still need to get out and drive and actually do some trips, make some money. 5:02. The comments are still not back up. Come on. Okay, now they're back. I'll just read a couple real quick and then I'm out of here. Jim Barnes, you don't throw money away on rent. You're getting something for your money, a place to live. Yeah, but then as soon as, no, you're throwing your money away because, yeah, you get a place to live until you can't pay for it anymore. Even if you live there for 20 fucking years and you've paid like over $100,000 and you could have owned a place already by that point. As soon as you have an emergency, a family emergency already, or your car breaks down, or you fall behind on rent for whatever reason, or the rent just goes up, you fall behind, guess what? You're on the street. Like you're just like a worthless bum who who's just lazy and didn't work all that time, then put in all that money towards housing. Now you're just on the street with nothing to show for it. That's my whole deal with rent. If you get an RV, you actually have a house on wheels. It's your property. You can just drive it away. There's no fucking landlord. That's why I'm so against rent and so pro RV. Walking Journey, Brian, is there any job you're willing to work? Any different city or state you're willing to live in to better yourself? All I hear is no, my way or a highway. Tell me if I'm wrong. Dude, first of all, I don't have money to go anywhere. I keep telling people I can't go anywhere. I'm barely even keeping up with bills. Fuck, I can barely even function in this fucking kitchen, let alone do a whole fucking road trip and go settle somewhere new. I don't have any money for any of that. Anyway, and I mean, you're asking me if there's any job I'm willing to work. I mean, it's not so much of a thing of I'm willing. I live in a fucking kitchen. The people are not grasping that. Like, oh, here we go. That's it.